Hit that like button just like Tyson.
What's that word? What's that word, family? Hey, man, check this out. Welcome to another episode of Fast and Furious. I'm talking about the fastest and the most furious interviews on the internet right now today, man. Told y'all, man, we keep our ear to the streets here at Fast and Furious. We are also brought to you by Members Only Podcast. That's Members Only Podcast, M.O.P. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. We got a special guest in the building tonight with us, man. Hey, look, I think y'all finna enjoy this, man. I'm finna put y'all on some new music. I'm putting y'all on something new. So that way, y'all can be like, hey, man, every time I go to Fast and Furious interviews, man, I always get the best new artists. We always get the best new artists, man. What's up? Who we got in the building, man? Tell the folks who we got in the building today.
Oh, man, it's your boy Wazzy Free, man. South Philly, 7th Street, Section 7, stand up, man. I'm in the building. Y'all see me?
You got a crazy track that's going on right now, man. That's catching a lot of traction, man. It's out here. It's burning the streets, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, the track is Middle Finger. This is for everybody, I'm saying. Everybody, I'm saying. Basically, my inspiration behind this track, you know how it is. Everybody, I'm saying, pretty much can chime in. And if you ever been behind the wall, I'm saying, like, you know how your mind get to thinking when, I'm saying, those type of situations happens and you feel like ain't nobody there for you. So the inspiration for that track was from those bad feelings.
People want to know, how was it growing up where you from, bro? How was it?
Oh, man, that shit was treacherous, man. Like, I shouldn't have to say no more than this. My cousin right now is doing a life sentence for my pop's murder. Like, shit treacherous. Like,
wow.
So, exactly.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That's really crazy, bro. Hey, look, the reason why I heard about you was because somebody sent it to me in my email. They say, Lo, man, you got to check this homeboy out, man. You know what I'm saying? He's coming from the East Coast, man. He really got something going on right now. Tell us about your fan base.
Oh, man, you know, it's just right now it's just like, we're in the beginning stages of this. You know, I just was released from prison myself. Just came home from doing 11 years. I'm saying, only been on the street 7 months. And my books hit the streets before I did.
Oh, your books hit the streets before you did. So
I published some Jones while I was still in the cell. Facts. My books are about a man named Timeline Blockbuster Freeman. Initially, he had got locked up for a murder that he never committed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he go to jail. He do 15 years. The parole board, after 15 years, like, you know what? We never really had enough evidence. We're going to let this boy go. So when he come home, and in the midst of him coming home, his brother, like, builds a little drug empire in his absence and all that. So when he come home, his brother like, look, this what I got, you right hand type shit. So he like, no, I just came home from doing 15 years for something I didn't do. You're not about to send me right back. You know what I'm saying? So him and his brother had an ongoing conversation about him entering the game and him not entering the game. They both weigh options on both sides. Now, you know how the street is. When they want you, they want you. You know what I'm saying? So what happened is something happened where Timeline...
Well, don't give them too much, brother. Don't give them too much. You know what I'm saying? They got to go purchase the book, man. Where can they purchase the books at?
All 3 books are available. All 3 books that I have out published right now are available on Amazon.com. Sometime in the middle of the next year, Blockbuster 4 will be out.
So we can expect you to be doing movies as well as rapping.
Oh, man, listen. I'm trying to tell you, man, right now, that's definitely my goal. I already wrote the screenplay for Blockbuster 1. So that's definitely my goal. I'm definitely trying to get on the big screen, trying to get the bag each and every way. Like I said, man, I was in that cell and I was thinking about how can I get this bag from my homie. And I ain't just thinking one. I'm making sure I'm driving in multiple lanes at the same time.
I talked to a brother on my podcast, man. He's been locked up for 14 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he's part of the podcast. He got businesses going on. He got record labels, all of that while being behind bars. So I know that you can do anything that you want to do. Hey, so
man, listen, the mind is a person's greatest tool. Like, you really don't understand how powerful that tool is, because a lot of brothers, and I've seen it, and I once was a part of that statistic. A lot of young brothers that fill up our correctional institutions in this country, and a lot of them, our daily missions and our daily goals ain't the law library. It ain't fighting our case. It ain't trying to get out. It's basketball, who in the playoffs, who going to the Super Bowl, all that shit. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So once people get in tune with their star player and they develop that conscious mind and they sit back and they start reevaluating, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna see the whole picture. I'm saying you can't really see the bigger picture when you're still in the box. You gotta take yourself, like Meek said, you gotta take yourself outside of yourself to look at the big picture. That's the only way you're gonna see it. And when you see it, you're gonna be able to make the changes, and it's gonna be easy at that point because you got your blueprint now.
Well, speaking of Meek Mill, who you rocking with, bro? Tell us your squad, man. What they doing? What they out there doing, bro?
I'm Dolo. I'm
You
Dolo. I
Dolo?
don't have it. I'm Dolo. I'm doing this by myself.
Oh man, you doing the visuals as well?
Listen, I got my brother, Roach and Ream. Shout out to Roach and Ream. He's the owner of Bossed Up Records. He has his own independent record label out in Florida. He travels when it's permissive for him to do so, to record me, to shoot my videos. My last video, the one that y'all watching, that was shot by a well-known videographer named Hollywood Pompey. So shout out to Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, yeah, Dolo, bro. Like Dolo, like I said, I just came out. I'm trying to network, build my audience and all of that stuff right now. I'm Dolo, man. Everything you see right here, I did that.
Wow, I can't believe it. Let me tell you this. I see you blowing up in the future, man, because I've been listening to this song over and over, just saying, damn, this dude really got that flow. You know what I'm saying? Describe your sound to the peoples, bro.
I mean, my sound is a combination of, it's a small combination of some of the artists that I listened to growing up. That's like, if I was to break down my pie chart with that, it'd be like 15% I will owe credit to them, and then 85% is what I developed in my mind, what I wanted to hear in my mind. And
right.
I'm saying we're just going off of that. Like I'm saying that, and I want to, you know, when it's time to write, whether it's the book or some music, I pick up the pen and I just, you know what I'm saying, I just go, like I just put it out there.
Which one is more difficult, writing a whole book or writing a rap?
Writing a whole book is more difficult, definitely 100%. And I'm gonna say that because I actually challenged myself when I seen that that Young Thugger said he could write a whole verse in 15 minutes. And I challenged myself to see if I could do that. I did mine in 13. You see what I'm saying? So writing a verse is relatively easy depending on the topic. Now, when you're writing a book, it's significantly different because of all of the structure that you have to put in it. Number one, your book has to make sense from beginning to end.
Right.
Or you can't sell a part two. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
like,
and you made it to how many books?
I've written 7, and I have 3 published.
7. And all 7 of those books have been published.
No, 3 of them published, 4 of them waiting to be published. You know how it is. It's the same thing with music. You got a catalog, you pick your dates. My dates for the other 4 just hasn't come yet.
Oh, okay. Well, we got a couple of questions that we want to ask you, man, here on Fast and Furious, man, if that's okay with you, my brother. Hey, look,
go ahead.
First question I got, bro, is what first got you into music?
What first got me into music? I think I was about 7 years old, and I heard "Party Up" for the first time. And I probably heard it before that, but it was the first time that I could remember it ever resonating with me. And that energy that DMX had, DMX, that energy that DMX had, like, y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Y'all can feel his music, y'all can feel his lyrics in y'all soul.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? So I wanted to emulate that with myself. I wanted to write lyrics as well as novels that people will be able to feel in their souls.
Right. Hey, man, well, like I said, I got a couple of questions to ask you, man. Who inspired you, man? Who exactly inspired you? I know you said DMX, but who inspired you to make music?
I don't really have an idol. My only idol is my reflection, and that respect. I'm my idol. But it was just the era, you know, DMX, all of them guys that was doing their thing in that era. It was that era because I grew up in the 90s. and it's argumentably, you know what I'm saying, we could go about this all day, but I mean, some surveys or some polls have said that the '90s era probably, as a whole, was probably the greatest collection of music. Now, that's opinionated, but yeah, that era right there, man, just growing up in that era, it was just so magical. I'm talking about DMX. I'm talking about music that you could feel in your soul. I'm talking about the miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Like, I was even listening to artists like that. You see what I'm saying? And all of these artists, singers, rappers, all of their music and their energy and the things that we was able to see on camera, I just kept looking at that, and I'm like, man, that could be me. And then I went from that could be, I went from that could be me to it is gonna be me.
All right, well, check this out. You got to tell us, what is your creative process like?
My creative process is pick up the blunt. No, no. My creative process is, I know how to turn and if you read the book, you will get that. I know how to turn my emotions off to able to take a problem that involves emotion and view it analytically. So I view it as a problem, so I can think outside of that box and give whatever advice to that situation, whether it's to someone else or to myself. You know what I'm saying? The best advice possible in that situation. But my creative process is dealing with an emotion. When I deal with an emotion, once I can identify that emotion, I target it. I turn that emotion inward. You see what I'm saying? So if it's anger, I make it happiness so I can write. But I write about that anger, if that makes sense. If I could do a collaboration with anybody today, it'd probably be Dirt. Shout out to Dirt, man. That's my guy, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Listening to Love Songs for the Streets, man. That shit got me through. That shit got me through in itself. You know what I'm saying? But if I could have like a second artist, I'm definitely putting Meek in there.
I was wondering. I was like, when is Meek gonna come up? You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen. No, hey, listen. The thing is, a lot of Dirk's music, as far as the emotions that he was feeling at the time where I was presently where I was at, in addition to Meek Mill, but it was more so Dirk because it was like my personality related to his more so than Meek. You see what I'm saying? But if I had to like tell you outside of myself who my favorite rapper is, it definitely gonna be Meek, because it ain't a Meek verse you can spit right now that I don't know the words to.
Right. Hey man, shout out Meek Mills, shout out Lil Durk. You know what I'm saying? And Lil Durk just did something, man, that was amazing, man. He said he was no longer performing songs where he was dissing dead rappers. If you can open the show right now for any artist, who would that artist be?
Meek.
Definitely Meek, in front of the hometown.
I gotta put on for my city, man.
Tell the people what you got coming up next, bro.
Oh man, listen, man, I got this next song that's about to drop. It's gonna drop soon. I'm gonna give y'all more details as we get nearer to the date. The song is called Free You. The song is a song for my brother who is still incarcerated in the feds. You know what I'm saying? He's serving a 22-year sentence for armed robbery. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted the world to know his situation and be able to relate to that pain. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, because he's been putting in a lot of paperwork trying to get off early release off the COVID thing. They did some weird shit, manipulating my brother. They told my brother that because he didn't take the COVID vaccination, it's like he didn't view his health as a priority. And because he didn't view his health as a priority, there was no need to consider him for early release. And then once they told him that, he went and got the COVID vaccination. So after he got the COVID vaccination, the next thing they tell him, he's no longer in danger. You see what I'm saying? So they flim-flammed the shit out of my brother.
Wow, that sounds terrible. That sounds terrible, man. Well, we hope that your brother get up out of that situation, get up out of that jam. You know what I'm saying? Shout out anybody that you want to shout out. I know you said you don't mess with nobody, but they got to be like other Philly underground artists that we don't know about that you need to shout out, bro.
Oh, man, shout out my mom, man. I wouldn't be here without her. That's where I'm at with it.
That's where you at with it.
Shout out my brother, Roach and Ring. Shout out my family. Shout out Allahu Akbar. I know that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shout out everybody out here that's doing their thing. same way I'm doing it, different the way I'm doing it. You know, it's no shade on anybody. It's just that I'm a loner. Ain't no shade, no this. It's just how I'm moving. It's safer that way.
All right, man. Well, we want to say thank you for joining us here at Fast and Furious Interviews, brought to you by Members Only Podcast. I can see your future coming, man. You're a bright star, man. Just keep working hard, keep doing your thing, and start making those connections, man, because everybody got a network. You know, me and you networking, you know what I'm saying? So you got it in you. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got to come up outside of Philly, you know what I'm saying? That might help.
No matter what it takes, I'm on it.
I just want to say, man, thank you for joining us on the show. And I want to say peace, my brother.
Peace to you as well, bro. Thanks for having me, bro.